He reminded me a lot of like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, like somebody like that, thick, good tackler, not afraid to get in there and get dirty.
What's the dog like?
He's a dog. Okay. He really is.
It's good to know.
It's the IDP Show, now you know.
Welcome to the IDP Show. We are doing an IDP-only rookie mock draft, 3 rounds, big 3 scoring, true position, start 11, offense and defense. It was Adam at the 101, then Bobby, myself, Joey the Tooth, from Football Guys, Eric Harms, then Mike Woellert from the IDP Show. So we already have another video breaking down the first round. So if you want to go watch that, link is in the description. But we're now into round 2, and we're going to be talking about some guys that may be considered sleepers. So let's jump into it here with the 201. You go with Cole Bishop.
My boy.
Safety out of Utah. I was hoping one of these 2 safeties would fall to me at 203. But then, Bobo, you go Tyler Nubin, safety, Minnesota at the 202.
Get you Nubin.
Get you Nubin. And then 203, Byron Murphy II, IDL. Texas is my pick. 204, Bralen Trice, edge, Washington to Joey. 205, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., linebacker, Clemson is Eric's pick. And then 206, Trevin Wallace, linebacker, UK to Mike. Addy, take us inside that beautiful brain there at 201. Cole Bishop was your pick.
Cole Bishop. Dog. I mean, one of the better tacklers at safety in this class. 5.5 tackles per game for his career. Also was pretty good at getting some TFLs, 21.5. That was 0.6 TFLs per game. That's a really, really, really good rate for a safety. And then PFF grades were also good. 73.4 as a junior, 65.6 as a senior. 10.9% tackle rate. That was the best of the safeties. Freak athlete, though. 9.88 RAS. Dude crushed at the combine. Also was surprised by how big he is. 6'2", 206, 4.45 40, 39-inch vert, and then 10.4 on the broad. So, yeah, 9.88 RAS. Good player. Good player. My safety 1. Bob's guy probably will be the highest drafted of the bunch, I think. Nubin. I like Nubin. I just don't know that, I don't know if he's going to be the most productive safety.
I don't disagree. He's a little bit more big play dependent. In his time at Minnesota, though, over 5 years, because he did have a redshirt year in there, it looked like. He put up 207 total tackles. Over the last 3 years, he averaged at least 50 tackles per season. But over his 5 years, he had 13 interceptions, which is pretty impressive. He had 4.5 TFLs, and he had 2 sacks. So, yeah, he might be a little bit more big play dependent. He almost seems like he might be the type that is going to play a little bit deeper than we would like for an IDP.
Looking at usage, I got that pulled up right now. Nubin played 40.3% of his snaps out of the sweet spot. I can run through them real quick. He played 17 at the defensive line, 706 in the box, 1,417 at free safety, 250 at slot, 26 at corner.
What was the sweet spot percentage?
40.3%. Cole Bishop was 73%.
Ooh.
And
that is sexy.
We'll get to the next one.
All right. So, couple safeties go off the board. 203, Byron Murphy. Yeah, I wanted Bishop or Nubin, but alas, 1A, 1B of the interior defensive line. I don't think you can go wrong with either Byron Murphy or Johnny Newton. I think they're both going to be first-round picks.
As I've been digging into the PFF numbies, boy, Byron Murphy tears it the hell up.
And also,
it's hard to look away from the stuff he's doing.
Talk about recency bias, Bobo, with like linebackers kind of burning us and maybe wanting to fade that position a little bit. Defensive tackle, my God, have we been #blessed here in recent rookie drafts.
Yep.
With guys like Jalen Carter and Kalijah Cansey coming in. Just a plethora of young defensive talent at the defensive tackle position.
Yeah, Byron Murphy here at 6'4", 297, ran a 4.8 40, 1.69 10 split, a 33-inch vert, and a 9.3 broad jump with 28 reps on the bench. DJ's size comp there during the combine was Jarrell Casey.
Oh, that's nice. That's very nice.
Yeah,
Jarrell Casey was a hell of a player.
I agree. I think Byron Murphy, he may be my defensive tackle 1 out of this class. I agree with what Adam's saying. The PFF numbers are good. The tape looks fire. I don't know. Johnny Newton's also pretty fun too. That's a I'm going to have to think on that one
They're
for a while.
they're so close, both of
Yeah.
them, man. I mean, Byron Murphy's also 21.6. Stud, dude. Let me pull up some of these PFF numbers real fast.
Because you said he was looking really good.
19.6 pass rush win rate in 2023. That was the best among the defensive tackles. Comparison, Johnny Newton put up 15.4. Pressure rate was also really good for a DT, 12.1% compared to Newton's 9.6. But yeah, man, I mean, just good stuff. 9.21 RAS for Byron Murphy. Young, going to be in a good situation, going to be, I'd say, a top 20 pick.
Both those guys are fun, man. Two really good defensive tackles.
Our good friend, Tripp, he went 101 Byron Murphy. I totally respect it, and I love the move, but you don't have to do that because everyone's going to go crazy over the edge guys. Yep. But that made my ears perk up like, oh, I should be giving maybe Byron Murphy a little bit more respect because old Tripp is a big fan.
Well, and especially if you're looking at like the chance to lock down a true difference maker at a onesie position for most leagues.
Yeah, right.
That's
exactly.
pretty nice.
That was his thinking with it.
So I get it.
But even so, people are going to fade defensive tackle. Mm-hmm. Like we're seeing here, man. They usually have nice floors. So they usually get at least 50 tackles a season. Mm-hmm. So they're good assets to get slept on.
All right, so that was the first three picks of the second round. 204, we get Bralen Trice for Joey. He said about Mr. Trice, Bralen Trice has a thick NFL-ready frame with some of the strongest hands in the class. He has scheme versatility with the ability to play D-end in 3-4 or edge in a 4-3. Trice is a body mover with a bit of a mean streak. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. was Eric's pick at the 205. Eric said just 21 years old. Trotter produced on the field early in his college career at Clemson. As a sophomore, he had 89 tackles, 6.5 sacks, 13 TFLs, and 2 interceptions, and he had nearly identical stats as a junior in 2 fewer games. He had an excellent 91.8 coverage grade and an 80.7 run defense grade the last 2 years per PFF. And then Mike said of Trevin Wallace from UK at the 206, love his size and his performance at the combine confirmed what I've seen on the field. Love his athleticism and his strength. He's an explosive player. So starting with Bralen Trice there at the 204, Bobo, what did you think of Mr. Trice, Joey's pick from Washington?
Yeah, I think that the NFL actually may love a guy like Bralen Trice. I think that you actually might see him rise in the NFL draft. I mean, I don't think he's going to be a first rounder, but I think you could see maybe Bralen Trice slip into the second round. I love that. I think that after Joey took him there at 204, it makes you kind of think, should I maybe have grabbed old Bralen a little bit higher? You know, Joey loves some good edges.
Bralen Trice really good, 16.6% career pressure rate, 19.0 pass rush win rate in 2023. Also really good at the grades, 88.3 as a senior, 87.8 as a junior. So good stuff, good production. 7.43 RAS, so not the greatest athlete.
But that's why we see him here a little bit later.
Exactly.
Yeah, all these guys are kind of skeptical. You know, Jeremiah Trotter, I love old Clemson Tigers, but I'm a little worried about Jeremiah Trotter. His combine was not great.
What do you guys think about Trotter?
I'm just a little worried.
You're the Clemson fan,
yeah,
so if you're worried, I'm worried.
I do like the Trevin Wallace pick. Trevin Wallace there at the University of Kentucky is exactly what Mike is saying. You know, great size. He performed really well at the combine. Athleticism, strength. Let's see if we have here. The combine, 6'1", 237. He ran a 4.52 40, 37.5-inch vert, and a 10-foot 7-inch broad. Trevin Wallace is going to fit into that Cedric Gray category to me, to where they're not going to be one of the first linebackers that I take off of the board. But as far as sleeper categories go, Trevin Wallace and Cedric Gray are going to be sitting there smiling, waiting for me at the end of the 4th, beginning of the 5th, somewhere in that range.
Back to Trotter, though. I mean, he does do some things that we like. I mean, as a sophomore, he put up 89 tackles, 13 TFLs, 6.5 sacks, 2 INTs, 5 PDs. He's also super young. All these linebackers are young. 21.3, Jeremiah Trotter. Trevin Wallace is 21.1.
He has the family pedigree and stuff, too.
Exactly. Cedric Grace, 21.4. Peyton Wilson, 24.0.
Old as hell. Does that give you any pause going with a much older linebacker as your LB1 with 10 surgeries under his belt or whatever?
Again, because we're looking for those. We're looking for him to hit early on.
Cash out.
3 years, 4 years tops.
Let him go bonkers year one, and then we will legit have a chance to get a first out of him.
Let's talk 207 through the 212, though, gentlemen, and let's kick things off with Mike's pick, linebacker out of Missouri, Tyron Hopper, and then 208, Darius Robinson, edge, Missouri, to Eric. 209, Terrion Arnold, cornerback, Alabama, is Joey's pick. 210, Marshawn Kneeland, edge, Western Michigan, is my pick. Austin Booker, edge, Kansas, is Bobby's choice at the 211. And then 212, Tykee Smith, safety, Georgia, Adams' pick at the 212. Let's start, though, with Mike, Eric, and Joey's picks. Mike had to say about the 207, wiry and athletic, and takes good angles to get to the ball carrier. Even though he missed a few games, he was still a Butkus Award finalist. I'm holding out hope for the tackle production in the pros. Eric said of Darius Robinson, Robinson has good size at 6'5", 285, and can play anywhere on the line, but just okay athletically. Had a very good senior year, recording 8.5 sacks, and was a standout at the Senior Bowl. He wins with his long arms and power, but he needs to work on secondary moves. Had an overall PFF grade of 83.1 and was strong in both run defense and pass rush. And then Joey said of Terrion Arnold, the first, I believe, depending on how you look at Cooper DeZean, the first cornerback off the board here. Terrion Arnold is probably the most versatile DB in this class. He can literally play any position in the defensive backfield. He has the strength to match tight ends, the body fluidity to mirror slot receivers, the length to press on the outside, and the instincts and closing speed to cover the back end. I love his potential. What do you think of these first 3 picks, Addy?
Tyron Hopper's an interesting prospect, 7.38 RAS. Was a fifth-year senior, though, a little bit older. Don't have his DOB like Cole Bishop. And then production wasn't anything too special. 4.75 tackles per game, 0.66 on the TFLs per game, so that's pretty solid. And then the PFF grades, also not very good. He's got upside, though, like Mike mentioned. But all those linebackers kind of run together, really. Like linebackers 4 through
It kind of feels like
15.
There's a
Who
top
cares?
3 or 4 at edge.
I feel like
top
most
3 or 4 at linebacker, and then just big fat question marks past that.
I feel like most of these guys will be there for you on waivers.
Yep.
Like you don't have to chase any of these linebackers. Like just wait for your draft to end and just go pick them up, and see what happens. But you don't gotta just don't be a flag planner and try and draft these guys in the 3rd round or something like that. Don't do anything dumb.
Well,
just let them fall to you.
We're getting in the range now where most of these guys are going to be undrafted.
I think so.
You think you said if it is 15 guys, that would be the 3rd pick of the 2nd round,
Right.
And we're now at the 207. So we're getting into that range where most of these guys are not going to be drafted in 5-round rookie drafts.
But it is going to be interesting to see of Terrion Arnold, Kenyon Mitchell, Mike Sandstrill, Nate Wiggins, Kool-Aid McKinstry. 1 or 2 of those cornerbacks are going to be
Those are your safer picks.
interesting.
Hell yeah.
One of those guys is going to turn into a bigger slot guy. All of a sudden, his box snaps increase, and then all of a sudden, he's really relevant for not only dynasty, but also for your best balls as well. So that might honestly be the safer way to go. After we get past a certain point, instead of just throwing darts on
Here's my LB9.
whatever,
Let
me go get a guy who was probably drafted in the 1st round.
Yeah, here's my CB3, CB4.
Yeah, who was the 14th pick in the actual NFL draft.
Who's going to get playing time?
Who are the 1st round draft picks in the NFL? That's who I would grab because you're going to actually be able to use this guy.
Yeah, get cute on the waivers.
Yep.
You
Yep.
don't want to lock in one of these guys as a roster spot because you're stuck with them, especially if you're in a contract league. You
Yeah.
got these dudes for 4 years.
Yep.
No.
You don't want that. Darius
Truly.
Robinson felt like a nice pick here for Eric at the 208. I think he's in that big fat mix of edge rushers that it's like, pick your poison past the top 4. Terrion Arnold, CB, probably going to be 1st or 2nd cornerback taken in the actual NFL draft. I think it's almost a slam dunk that he's going to be a 1st-round pick.
Who do you like? Who's your corner, Addy?
Probably Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah, I think so too.
I've seen him mocked to the Colts a lot.
Really?
Yes. So that's why you'll see him.
He's a freak.
Go off the board
Yeah, he's
here
awesome.
for me in the end of the 3rd round. So Let's go to our picks, though, gentlemen, and talk about Marshawn Kneeland, edge, Western Michigan, Austin Booker, edge, Kansas, and Tykee Smith, safety, Georgia. Addie, let's go first with you. 212, Tykee Smith, safety. You already took your boy, Cole Bishop, so you're going back to the safety well here. What do you like about Mr. Smith?
I like Tykee Smith quite a bit. A dude that was at West Virginia his first 2 years, balled out. Like, production was really, really good tackler. Usage is fantastic. He has career sweet spot usage of 95%.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so I mean he's playing in the slot, playing in the box. You watch him, he reminds me a lot of like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, like somebody like that, you know, thick, good tackler, not afraid to get in there and get dirty.
What's the dog like?
He's a dog.
Okay.
He really is.
Good to know.
And we didn't see him break out at Georgia until his final year because he dealt with injuries right when he got there, transferred from West Virginia. He think he tore his ACL, and so then he didn't really play for the next 2 years, but got his shot senior year, balled out, leader type. I like him a lot, man. I think he's going to be really, really good. So, yeah, he's one of these guys that I've risen on recently. I've got him as my safety 3, might be safety 2.
And he played at Georgia.
Not bad. Pretty good program for.
You're not hearing a lot
talent.
about Tykee Smith. I imagine that's going to change, though. This will be one of my guys.
Bobo, I think you were chastising yourself for
Sure.
your 211 pick of Austin Booker. Take us inside that brain and let us know why.
If you're in a deep league, Austin Booker is interesting. If you're not, then this is a waiver guy. Austin Booker is the prototypical developmental type edge. Does he have the ability to maybe excel in the NFL? Absolutely. Could it take 3 to 4 years? Probably. I don't know. I really like Austin Booker, and I like the upside that he could hold, but it's likely going to take some time before you cash in.
26th overall ranked player by us in the IDP only ranks at the IDPshow.com. Addie's 23rd overall player, your 30th, and Scott's 34th overall player. So same kind of thinking here with Marshawn Kneeland. I mean, edge, Western Michigan, Lance Zierlein. I always like seeing what the actual draft nicks are talking about with these guys.
Yep.
And he has him with a 6.16 prospect grade. Good backup with the potential to develop into a starter. So, yeah, that's what Lance Zierlein had to say. Addie, you got any fun nugs about Mr. Kneeland?
9.54 RAS.
Not too shabby. Good job, Josh.
6'3", 267, 34.5-inch arms. Yikes. 4.75, 40, 35.5-inch vert. So, yeah, really good stuff.
Right at a 7-second 3-cone. DJ actually comped Kneeland to Tulipilotu.
Very
That's
nice.
good. That's a good comp.
It's a very nice comp.
Gotta love that there.
Loving
at
this
the end of
pick
the
more and
second.
more. Well, thank you all for watching this video. This has been the breakdown of the second round of our IDP only rookie mock draft. We have another video breaking down the first round with some more well-known names, some guys that will almost certainly be drafted in your rookie drafts. And we're going to have another video breaking down the third round, which is going to be very fun late dart throws. So thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next video.
It's the IDP Show.